So today I wanted to share how I created this little envelope with a perfect card for Valentine's Day, I think, and also with a little Valentine's gift for the recipient. And I think it's a very nice and easy way to create this little card, and everything what I put into. So I thought it would be nice for beginners or for anybody who wants to create maybe a fast card and has not so much time left, and to make somebody maybe very happy. So first I want to start with this little card here, and to create this card we need cardstock in A6 size, so I cut this cardstock down to size. You can also buy them if you like. And what's maybe also very important is to think which colors you are going to use on top of it, because I'm using very light colored bright paper here to make the not so dark colors a little bit more outstanding. So I guess for my second card I think I'm going with white cardstock. And the next thing we need is a stencil. I made this stencil by myself. So what I basically did is to glue two cardstocks together. I guess here you can see it. So I glued them together and I draw a little heart, and then I carefully used an X-Acto knife. Make sure that you make it very slowly, and maybe also take some time for it, because you can easily injure yourself. Be careful. And I cut, in my case, 3 hearts out. A small one, a medium-sized one, and a large one. And you can also use, for example, acetate sheet or plastic sheets if you like, to make a plastic stencil. You can also buy stencils if you like, and you can also draw a little heart shape if you like. So in my case I just want to go with these 2 hearts. I used always the combination of these 2 or this 1, like you can see here. The next thing we need is a coloring medium. In my case I'm using Distress inks. I have Spiced Marmalade here and Distress ink Picked Raspberry. You can also use any color you like. You can also use the idea and create, make it different wherever you like. So this is just my way how I did it, and I just wanted to give you some inspiration. And I also use my ink blending tool. What I would recommend if you are working with very wet mediums is that you go with a foil, not a foil, but go with a plastic stencil to make sure that you can use your stencil again, because this is like a paper stencil, and this wouldn't be good if you use it, for example, with watercolors. If this works, just try it out, whatever you like, and make sure that it works for you. You could also use some painter's tape and yeah, make a little heart frame with the painter's tape, and then use watercolors, for example. You could also use yeah, markers if you like. I would recommend water-based markers, because alcohol-based markers maybe would bleed. You can also use colored pencils and a stencil, so I guess there are nearly endless possibilities you can use. So for my specific design, I want to go with the distress inks, and I think I turn it around, so I'm using the orange on top of my little heart and go in with my ink blending tool, just dip it in and make the top orange. Then I'm going to use my second color. In that case it's a pink tone, and I also repeat the process here. I'm just stepping into my ink and blend it a little bit with the top part of my heart. So we have the first heart done, and now I want to have a second heart here, and I think I do it reverse, so I'm using the pink on top. And the orange on the bottom. So now we have the basic part done, which is to create the first two basic shapes. And to make it a little bit more outstanding, I thought it would be nice if I'm using a black marker. This one is double-sided, so it has a fine and a brush nib, and I'm going to use the fine nib, which is like this size, if you can see it. And yeah, I just thought that it would be nice. I'm going for like a more messy style, and I just outline it twice, but I make sure that I make it a little bit messy, because I think that gives it a nice style. What I would also recommend if you are doing this is to make sure that you have one point where the lines match, at least one point. So now this is done. So we have the main part of our card created. And now I thought the background looks a little bit boring, so I guess I'm going in with two shades. So I'm using these aqua markers here. Any water-based pen would work too. And I just using the fine tip again and make some little dots here. Make sure to don't overwork the background, because, or I personally wanted to have my little heart shapes here outstanding from the background. So, oh, not the black one, I want the orange one. So I just made sure that I don't use a too fancy background. This is also something I would recommend if you want to recreate it, or if you are not going for a other style. If you have some spots where there are some smudges, you can also cover these parts a little bit up. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to create a little frame. I just want to show you what I would select, or what I think would work very good too. So for this card, I just wanted to have a fast card, which you can make in a small amount of time, or at least in a smaller amount of time. And For the border or for the frame here, I wanted to go with washi tapes, but if you like, you can also die cut any borders to make the frame. You can leave it like that. Yeah, in my case, I want to go with a color, anything like that, which has the same color tone which I have already used here. So I'm not sure going with this or this washi tape. So you can also use like washi tape which is cut, so there are little shapes included. This is also something you can use. Yes, I think I go with the pink one to have a little bit more contrast. So for the washi tape, I make sure that I use like the half of the washi tape when it is like, when it has this high, because I want a smaller border than this washi tape would be. And a nice thing I have with this washi tape is that you can fold it back and you have a background frame if you do it for each side. So I just, yeah, rip it off, fold it back, make sure that it's straight. Make sure that you fold from the middle to the edge, otherwise it can be a little bit bulky. And I also don't care if it is completely correct or straight, because I think nobody will notice, and I think it also goes with the style I already have for this piece, so I don't care so much about it. But of course, if you can always measure, you can always use any tools to make it straight if this is something you are going for. So the next thing I do is to cut the excess of the washi stripes. The good thing about washi tape is also that you can easily put it away and put it down another time, so this is good too. So then you can cut the excess again away or off. You can cut the excess off. And we have our nice little frame. So now you can decide what you want to do with your card. If you can just leave it like that, you can add a little sentiment, you can add a sentiment stamp if you like, if your handwriting maybe is not that good. I just took my black pen and I just want to write a message down here. So now I guess I messed it up, but I think it's okay too. So it's not perfect, but I think I like it. So you can also take a pencil if you like it and draw your sentiment before you write it. Make it better than me, but I will leave it because I think it's good too for just like for not perfectionism, if that makes sense. But you can also cover it. So that would be the second thing I would recommend for you. So if you want to cover that, or if you want to do something else, you can just take a black piece of cardstock and write your sentiment down too. I'm using the Uniball Signo White Gel Pen or Uniball Signo Broad Gel Pen because I also want to do another card. You can, and then you can easily write on top of the black paper. And then you can use a paper trimmer or scissors if you like. Just put it in here. Leave a little bit of space to the writing. And what I did for this card was to take some foam tape to give it a little bit more dimension. So you would, maybe you see it between those two parts. There is a little bit of space, and then you could glue it down here. So maybe I will do that too, because I want to add this strip on another card. So I'm just using the first layer of foam tape, pull it away, cut a second layer of foam tape and put it on top. Yeah, well done. So now if you think your card looks too boring, which I think we can make a little bit more out of it, then you could also always add some hearts, for example, on the foreground or on the background. For this card, I wanted to have it very simple. For this card, I'm going a little bit more, into detail. And another thing I would say is a good idea are 3D glues for your card. You could also use glitter glue or any other thing you like to use for your card. I guess for this one I just want to add a tiny little bit of glue dots. So make sure that you are very careful by squeezing this out, because it comes sometimes very fast, and then your card might not look as you wanted it to be. If you are confident with these little tubes, you could also do like a little heart, anything like this would work too. So I guess I'm putting this to try, and we do the next thing for our little gift. So next I want to do my envelope, which I also did here. So the first thing I did with this envelope was to put my sentiment here, but I think I'm going first with my washi tape stripe and put it all along the edge below, or on the bottom of my envelope. So I'm not sure what, I guess I'm using this one. So I just put my washi tape down here, make sure that it is straight. I eyeball these things, as you can see here. So there, in this case I did it a little bit fast, and here too, done. And then I just cut the excess off again. So now we have our border. It depends a little bit on how you want to send this postcard or not. In this case, I'm not sending this, I'm giving this just to somebody, but maybe you want to write or you want to send it, so you should leave some space here and here to write your address on. But that doesn't mean that we couldn't decorate the back a little bit. So in this case, I just would go with a normal stem. I'm using the sheet of clear stamps here, which is perfect for Valentine's Day, I think, because as you can see, it has a lot of hearts and a lot of Valentine related drawings on it, and I want to use this stamp especially because I just basically love the stamp. I just place it down here to make sure that it fits, and it fits. And now I want to show you something, because you can do a gradient with your stamps. You could also use distress ink if you like, but yeah, it depends on what you prefer. And I also don't care that this is a little bit messy, because I just like the style how it is. I just wanted to, yeah, make the background a little bit more interesting. So in my case, I'm going in with my marker again, which fits perfectly to my distress inks, which I used also in the inside of the envelopes card. And I'm going in, yeah, with a brush nib, and I'm just coloring like the bottom here and the tip of the little hearts and the strings which go down. I'm just coloring it in, or I'm just coloring the top of the stamp. And now we just place it down where we want it to be. Yeah, I think this would be nice. Just place it. What you can also do is to make sure that the little ending is going above here, then you won't have, yeah, this little break here, if you like to do it. And a tip for you, if you don't know it, but you can wipe your clear stamps clean with yes, this little baby wipe. And now it is, yeah, I think it's okay. So now we have like the background done for this card, because for this envelope, because I want to add an address here, and here will be my will be some space for the post stuff we need to put on. And now I want to decorate the front. And you can write whatever you like. I would prefer like sending you some love, sending you some lovely greetings, anything like that, or maybe also some love for you like I did on this one. But for this person, I think I'm going with missing you. So now that this is done, you can also do it, for example, with a stamp if you don't want to write something on it. I guess it's called stretch lettering, but I'm not completely sure. Yeah, I just used this style, which is often used in hand lettering, or which I often have seen hand lettering. And I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going with this little clear stamp. And you can stamp, for example, also on the front here a little image if you like. I'm taking the pink one. And I also again take my marker and paint all the little edges of the little top part here of the stamp. and then I'm going to place it on top. Maybe you have to think about which ink pad you use or which medium you use if you want to have it exactly like the image is. But I think since the card inside is messy too, it doesn't matter so much. And what you can always do if you like to put some more stuff is to just draw something on top of it. You could also draw instead of stamping if you prefer it. I think the paper is not the nicest for stamping, but as I said, I don't matter so much, or I don't care so much about this. So now we also have our envelope done. You can, yeah, also decorate it as much as you like. So maybe add a few hearts here. Yeah, and the back is done. So now I want to come to my last part, which I included in my little envelope, and this is this little heart, which you can use as decoration for your home, or you can use it as a little charm. And I think this is also very easy to make, and I think it would be a nice idea to share it. So I'm using this wire here. I cut it to size, so it's around 30 centimeters long. And the first thing we need to do is to like eyeball the middle of this little wire. I would say it's here. So it doesn't need to be perfect. And then I'm taking my wires and just, yeah, make the tip a little bit more getting together. So now we have a nice tip, and then I'm taking those two ends and fold it back. So maybe also adjust if you like the tip. Make sure that it is very well folded. So also make sure that it is already pushed a little bit inside the middle of the heart, because then we get a very nice heart shape if you're going for this style. So the next thing I do is to take one end and just fold or roll it inside. So just taking wire and just fold it inside, make a spiral out of it. I think that describes it. One tip is also to just use the inner end to fold or roll your wire, because yeah, that looks a little bit better, I realized. So now you already have one side of the heart. I always make sure that I roll it until the biggest part of the bow of the heart is like centered, not completely straight of course, and not completely perfect, but that it just looks like it's very centered. So I make sure that it is, I can show it to you, not here, but that it is more in the middle placed. And all we have to do now is to repeat this step and make it on the other side. If you realize that you have this little problem like I have, which was that it's coming too close to each other, each side, then just, yeah, like it is here, then just it's such a easy material, so you can easily adjust it like you want, and also use your fingers to push it in the right direction you wanted it to be. So yeah, push it in the right direction like you wanted it to be. So the last thing we need to do is to adhere our little string. So the string I used here is around 40 centimeters, but I think it's also okay if it is shorter or longer. It depends what you want to do for the heart. So, but I just want it as decoration element, and this is completely yeah, I think this is complete, or it's enough. And you can also always replace the string if you think it's too short or even too long, you can cut it down. So the first thing I'm going to do with this little string is to take my ends of the string, put these two ends together, and just fold it so that we have the middle of the string here. And then I'm taking one bow of my heart and just put the string through the space of the bow to the next bow here. And then we have also a little bow up here, and then we can take our ends of the string and put it through. Yeah, put it through. And then you just pull the whole string through too, and you have a nice little hanging heart if you want to do it, if you want to use it as a hanging heart. So this is my idea for Valentine's greetings. I think it's a nice idea. I think it is a perfect little gift set if you just want to say to somebody that this person does matter, or that this person is very important to you. And I made also a bunch of them, so I think as a beginner you might need some time. But I think if you are more advanced, I think it should take like 15 minutes to make at least a card. And maybe you also plan like 20 to 30 minutes, I would say, for the rest of the card to do. Be careful if you're using wire or any material which is sharp, because it can be dangerous, especially if you're using it with kids. So I would recommend doing it as an adult. I hope you like this little video. It was my first video I made for this channel, except my hello, here I am video which I animated. And if you like, I would be very happy if you want to, or if you share it, if you maybe leave also a like. That would be would make me very happy, because I'm just starting YouTube. Thank you.